Hi, thank you for watching this episode of the Rambling Film Group podcast. This is going to be the second part of the first episode of our weekly news podcast. So we do hope you enjoy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button and go ahead and share with your friends. And here comes the news.
Next bit. What does that say?
That
Ryan
says,
Howard?
Not Ryan.
Nope.
Ron Howard.
One letter in between.
I know. It's.
I'm going to be snappy now.
Yes, he
because
is. He is
I
going to be
feel
all
attacked.
kinds of feisty and
So,
sassy.
Prepare yourselves.
Would you like to
Yeah,
read
sure.
that?
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
make sure I read the first name accurately.
Just be extra nice.
So, Ron Howard apparently has shot the same Lord and Miller script for the Han Solo movie.
Oh.
For the reshoots. That came out on Collider. I'm pretty sure some other vehicles also said similar sentiments, but yeah, it looks like this is being reported that he shot that same script when I thought it seemed like the
Creative
script was
differences?
kind of part of those creative differences. So that's really interesting if they kept that the same. I don't know, because if something's designed to be funny, because that's what I feel like that was part of the report, that they were just kind of, Lord and Miller were kind of really hamming it up with the humor. And, I mean, if it's the same exact script, like, that's still going to be there. I mean, obviously, you could still, like, direct in a way to bring more, silliness or zaniness into something, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really have much. It's kind of the same. I just don't know. I just, I'm excited to see the movie still, like a little bit, but it's one of those things. Gotta wait till I see it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then for me, I just have so many, potential legal questions, because that's just the way that my mind works now, is I have no idea how the hell this movie's happening and how there's not gonna, I don't know money-wise how they're potentially gonna come out of things. Because here's the thing, is if they wrote the script and then got fired, they probably still got paid for at least proportionate to the amount of the work that they did, right?
Yeah.
And then if it turns out that they actually shot on the script as well, then that means they're probably going to be due everything else too. So it's going to be super interesting when the movie comes out and the credit. Oh, sorry guys, I've got this little squishy ball in my hand. This is my friend. It's going to be super interesting when the movie comes out.
Yeah, the same reaction.
It's just who I am. Just who I am. And the credit scrolls past and it's written by, because I feel like if that's what he shot, it's going to have to be written by Lord and Miller, and that's going to be super interesting if they were fired. And I'm just wondering on how much damages they're going to have to pay for firing somebody, but still have to pay for fulfilling that contract because they actually did write this thing, if this is all true. So I'm real confused / curious as to how the heck this is happening, unless they kept the scripts, but they did a writing consultant, or if Ron Howard basically just kind of rewrote things as he was filming and stuff like that, so it wasn't actually a change in the script. I have no idea. But it's going to be super interesting. It kind of makes me want to see the movie, only because I just want to see what the hell's going on, because I was never super interested in seeing a Solo movie to begin with. If there's people's movies that I want to see a Yoda or a Palpatine or
yeah, I'd even take a Chewbacca.
Something. I would take a Chewbacca.
A Chewbacca
I would take a
movie.
Chewbacca. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Han. I don't want to see Ben. I'm trying to think what else I want to see. Yeah, I don't want to see those things. Yeah,
I'll take a Luke in the 30 years after.
I'll take a Luke.
I'll take that too, and get Sebastian Stan to do it.
Yeah. Oh, because they
I'll
look
take that.
identical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I was never super interested in a Solo film, even though I love the Star Wars universe and I'm super invested in a whole bunch of other stuff. Just not that one for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, now I am interested just because I want to see what the frick is going on.
Hey, it's Disney, okay? You do not sue Disney. You sue
They should
Disney,
sue
and you're
people
guaranteed
sue
to
Disney all the
lose.
time.
No, I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
I was I guarantee they get sued.
Because there's
all the
there's kind of
freaking
this big
time.
thing that people say if you sue Disney, they'll kill you or they'll get someone to assassinate you. it is a kind of like a joke about Disney and people suing
Oh,
them.
no, that makes sense. I would say there's just no way. I mean, people might not though, just because they are a freaking huge powerhouse, and like if you can, if I have to, yeah, that's what I say. If I have to sue Disney, like I don't know how I'm gonna afford my attorney's fees to actually give them a fighting chance.
And shoot, not on top of
this pro bono.
On top of that, if Disney wins, then they're gonna have you pay for their attorney fees, and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just no way. Plus, honestly, probably most of the contracts with Disney are like arbitration or at least mediation agreements. So there's no way anything actually gets to court. But
yeah.
I'm sure the majority of our fan base and viewers know exactly what you're talking about.
You guys know what arbitration is.
Yeah.
It's basically just court, non-court. It's court, non-court.
I actually didn't have a definition for you right away. I heard the word, but I didn't actually know the meaning. So I guess I was the dumb one.
The thing is like with court, everything gets on public records. For arbitration, everything.
Sai, do you want to introduce the next topic?
Sure. I'm assuming because you wrote down just one word for this topic. I'm gonna.
Oh, no, that was with the previous thing. That was just the end of it. My bad.
Oh, okay. I got you now. I thought we were talking. I thought you were talking about the. I thought you were going to be talking about like the X-Men reshoots, and I was like, all right.
Oh,
I'm assuming that's what that is.
I forgot about that
Let's
one.
talk about that.
Segue. Sai just saying this right now. Reshoots is the next topic we're going to discuss. Sai, you want to introduce it?
Yeah, I mean, even though you just mentioned what the next topic was already, I guess I'll introduce it again. Right now, we're going to be talking about the major reshoots and delays that Fox is having with both, what is it, New Mutants, and then the Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix movie. Let's see, I think New Mutants comes out February, or is that the Phoenix one?
Phoenix.
So Phoenix comes out February. And then New Mutants comes out in like November, right? August. Okay, I'm sorry. My dates are completely
on everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't remember the dates. I apologize. So yeah, they are delaying them again. New Mutants, they're putting in a whole brand new character, which I'm not quite understanding. They're trying to ramp up the horror, which, I mean, I don't mind that. It's just the whole new character kind of makes me feel like, what? Okay. And then there was an article that stated that there is a possibility, because of the Fox Disney deal, that New Mutants may either go straight to digital and Blu-ray release, or we may never get it at all. We're guaranteed to get the Phoenix movie, so, fans that are interested in that one, don't worry. Now, here's the thing with that one. The reason why they're reshooting, at least rumored, is because they have tested it with fans, and it has done very, very poorly. So they are delaying that and doing reshoots. What are your guys' thoughts on A, the possibility that we may not even get New Mutants, or that it may not even go to theaters, and B, the fact that they're delaying the Phoenix movie because it tested just horribly?
Okay, do you want to go first, or?
Yeah, no way.
Okay, well.
She's never gonna say yes to that.
Probably not, but I'm always gonna ask. So my first thoughts, I'm going to start with New Mutants, because that was supposed to come out next month.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now it's not coming out till over a year and a half later.
Is this the second time it's been pushed back?
Yep, I believe so.
No, it's already been pushed back once to come out now. It was supposed to come out
that's what I thought.
even earlier originally.
That's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was the second.
So I can't remember what the original
me either.
Was.
It was sometime fourth quarter last year.
I was gonna say, I think it might have been even last year.
Because I remember seeing ads for it, even in the theater. I remember seeing ads for it.
You're right.
And then nothing.
Yeah. So that in itself is just a crazy, amazing story. It's that and The Flash to me that comes to mind, because that should have come out like last week, basically. And at least New Mutants has a potential release date. Flash.
They got a director.
Hey, it was directed, but within like last month or so.
And the director hasn't walked away yet. Like, you know, the last couple of ones. So
that's good too. Hey,
WB hasn't chased them away.
Yeah, we're going. The ball's rolling on it. The ball's rolling on the Flash. What were you gonna say?
I say it's different with the Flash. Flash, it was set to have a release date, but nothing had actually even started yet. With this, stuff has started.
Yeah, that's what's so weird about that.
This damn movie and it's still not here. That's way different.
Yeah, stuff is basically done.
Yeah,
it's way different.
I was saying, have you ever heard of another movie that has been, you know, let's say 85 to about 90% done, and then the studio delays it for whatever reason?
Only if they're trying to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
or make it go straight to like video.
Yeah. Like,
I'm sure there are some options, but they're probably more in the past. So I feel like if we research, I'm sure we could think of some. But
I can't think of any. I can't think of any off the top of my head. And it does feel like, for whatever reason, the studio just wants to kind of kill this, but they're not ready to tell the public that they're ready to kill it.
Yeah,
that's 100% my opinion. I'm like, they're basically, for me, like, once you, especially into like today's time where news travels so quickly and like getting like placing like where you're at, like when it's being released is so strategic. Like people move movies or just don't do certain things, or like we all know like January and February movies are crap. Like it's all of it is strategic, and the fact that it's being pushed back twice, I think, is basically them saying like, we don't know what to do anymore, so this is where it's at for the time being. And at least now we have a lot of time to try to figure out what the hell we want to do with it.
So I just had a kind of a thought, because the article was talking about the Disney, portion of it. What if Fox is purposely delaying it until after the deal is done, so that fans can't blame them for the movie not coming out? Fans will then blame Disney, even though Fox technically may be doing this on purpose, so that happens.
I mean, maybe, but I would still blame Fox because they had enough time to get this movie out and they still didn't do it. They know that they're in the middle of a Disney buyout time, and you're still pushing back the movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think logically, yes, you would still blame Fox.
But I get what you're saying. Like certain fans are nope. I mean, maybe. It all could be strategy. It all could be too where maybe Fox is trying to up some potential money they can get. So hey, we have mutants. It's all fresh. You can still tell your own story. We haven't told anything yet. You don't have to worry about confusing fans. You know what I mean? Yeah. That could be something too where it almost could be like a bargaining thing where they're like, we have these really desirable characters. Clearly people are excited about them and it's going to be big, but we haven't done anything with them yet. So if you want to, and you want to have creative control, then maybe give us something.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway,
Chuck, you got any other thoughts on it?
We didn't talk about Dark Phoenix at all.
So yeah.
There's not as much to talk about with it. I'm actually still excited for it. I overall I do like the main X-Men storyline there's been. Yeah. For the main movies, there's really only been 2 bad ones out of 6 total now, because between X-Men, X2, X3, that's the bad one. And then First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse, that's the bad one. Yeah. So I guess basically every third one, watch out. But yeah.
So we're starting on the new cycle.
True.
We're trending up now.
So I am interested. I was excited for this one because they're gonna try to do a serviceable Dark Phoenix story. Mm-hmm. For the most part, Simon Kinberg, who's writing and directing this time, he's been killing it as a writer. Except he did also write the last one. So
yeah.
Basically, I'm hoping, since he was getting into the director's chair, that he was seeing it as a more of a chance to redeem that previous movie, especially since that is arguably the biggest X-Men villain there is, and it was such a just
garbage.
Just crap portrayal. No offense to Oscar Isaac, but it was It was bad.
I don't think it's his fault.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, he can only go off of what the script is and what the director is asking him to do.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
And by the way, I feel like Bryan Singer, who I probably don't think is going to be directing much anymore for good reason, because if all those allegations are true, he's a disgusting human being.
I shouldn't be laughing, but the way you said disgusting human being.
What's that?
I said I shouldn't be laughing, but the way you said disgusting human beings was funny. So I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the fact that there are allegations. I'm just laughing at the disgusting human being part.
That's it. I don't think anybody would have taken your laughter as any other way, but good on you for clarifying. What I was saying though is, since X2, I don't think he's directed action well, at least in superhero movies. I saw that Jack the Giant Killer movie he did ago. I can't remember anything that really stood out in terms of action for it. But yeah, I think he lost his touch in shooting action because there's like no really cool fight choreography at all in Days of Future Past.
Which is a damn shame, because that movie is fantastic.
And that's really the only negative for it.
It's so good that I don't care.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's fair. But yeah, what was it? Superman Returns. That's awful when it comes to action. It's awful.
That's the movie I try to forget existed.
That's fair. But there's still worse Superman movies from like way back in the day. Not even talk about like the ones that are classics but don't hold up the grace. Like the sequels to those ones with Christopher Reeves, they're still like terrible ones.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, he comes back. He does Days of Future Past. Great movie, not great action besides like the Quicksilver scene. And then finally we get to Apocalypse. And again, I think the Quicksilver stuff is like the only really cool action in there. Everything else, especially the fights, he sucks when it comes to fights. Excuse me, sorry, but like.
You didn't say anything now.
I don't know why I said excuse me. I called him a disgusting human being, and then I said excuse me when he says he sucks at fight scenes. So I don't know what I was.
Priorities.
Yeah. I don't remember where I was originally going with it.
Dark Phoenix. Simon Kinberg.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm still excited to see what he comes up with. Hopefully he can redeem himself. Hopefully we get some really cool action choreography in an X-Men movie again. That's it. That's all my thoughts on it. Yeah. Sorry, I ranted.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, my thoughts as far as Dark Phoenix, I'm excited. I'm still excited for it. That's probably one of the most interesting X-Men storylines. Like, it's in a lot of people's, I would say, like, at least top 5 X-Men storylines. And it's a damn shame that X3 did what it did to it. Because, yeah, that as an X-Men fan, that was heartbreaking.
I will say this though, X3 has pretty good fight choreography.
But the story was
mutant action.
The story was crap though.
Yes, 100%. I was just saying I would say that's like its one redeeming quality.
And,
like the action's actually pretty shot well on that one by another prospective disgusting human being in Brett Ratner. So, the X-Men franchise has dealt with a few disgusting human beings, so that's sad.
Yeah, and then with Dark Phoenix, the reason why I harper on the story so much is because that comic book is very story focused. Like, it's not necessarily a very action filled story. It's actually more drama than it is action. And a couple of weeks ago, there was an article that they came out and said that they are the reason why they're delaying it a little bit is they are trying to put a little bit more drama in it because they understand the source material better than, I guess, when they did X3. So, I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite storylines. It's one that I would love to see done justice on screen. So, I don't mind the delays if it means that they're going to do it right.
I was gonna say, actually, like going off of what she said, one of the actors that plays Cyclops, Ty Sheridan, who's also in Ready Player One, coming out as early as tomorrow.
Yep.
Which will, I know we're gonna try to see it tomorrow, and so Lord willing, we will do some sort of live thing for it. But he actually went and made some very similar comments too. He actually said it's more of a drama. So that also, while I love my action, I can't lie when like that does excite me. I do enjoy when our superhero movies have more of that grounding drama element to
Yeah.
it. So that's probably the biggest reason when I heard those comments was between that and when you add somebody like Jessica Chastain into it too, that feel like that tells me there's something big to the script because not everybody just jumps into superhero movies. You know,
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
even very profitable, but like especially jumping into X-Men versus like jumping into a Marvel movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something's more proven.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm really anticipating it.
yeah. One other real quick topic that I think we should discuss that you didn't put on your list, and I'm kind of surprised you didn't. The fact that FX canceled the animated Deadpool movie.
What was I doing? My bad.
So we can just talk about that real quick because I know you guys have stuff to do in a couple of minutes. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
it's really shocking. And I know that Atlanta's only been on basically one full season, but the success that Atlanta had, it's really weird that FX has decided to no longer do Deadpool with Donald Glover. You would think they would keep that money train going, not only because it has Donald Glover's name behind it, and that piqued a lot of people's interest, but the fact that Ryan Reynolds is killing it when it comes to the live action part, which is also adding people's interest to it, it just seems like the perfect time to do something like that if you're able to do it. So for FX to decide for whatever reason they're gonna go ahead and cancel it, it's ridiculous. I guess their reasoning was they said Donald Glover didn't have enough time to work on the script, which Donald Glover came out on Twitter and basically said that is a bold-faced lie. I have plenty of time to work on the script, and either leaked the final pages of the script, or like you mentioned on Facebook, it may have been something that he wrote, after. It did seem parts of it were mimicking the fact that it was canceled, and he came up with it like overnight, which again, if he did that, that's spectacular. Just his creation, the way his brain works. So I'm really disappointed that they're not going through with that.
Yeah, 100%. And I was actually going to piggyback off of what you said because I'm like 99.99% sure that he wrote that within like the last 24 hours, and it's just like his commentary on the situation. So I was going to say, if you don't know the situation, basically, you explained it pretty well, and we can't defend that this series should have happened any better than the man did himself by writing that script. It's like 15 pages.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he wrote it within the last 24 hours because if you look at it, like everything that he's talking about it is extremely not
recent,
everyday topical, but extremely like to this week topical.
Yeah, like the Beyonce comment. The fact even the fact at the end he mentions that Deadpool mentions, do you think this got canceled because of racism? Like that's fairly new information that people thought. So yeah, I would agree that if you read it, it's clear that it was done very, very recently.
Yeah. So and like I said, it's the best defense of like, oh, they've done him dirty. Like he clearly like if they thought he didn't have enough time, he busts that out. Granted, it's not a super long script, but it's screenwriting's hard. So and he busts that out in a day or whatever. So that goes out the window. And if you think just in terms of quality, it wasn't going to be up to snuff, his writing for that blows that out the window too.
Yeah.
So, Kelsey, do you have any thoughts on it? Because I know you haven't got a chance to read that script or like check stuff like that.
Basically,
I am curious.
It's a shame that it was canceled though, because like I said, we talked about before, like anything that Donald Glover's a part of is
gold
great right now. So why would they even think about pulling it? That's kind of what I was saying before. And so I don't get it. I'm
Yeah.
hopefully that there's a legitimate reason. Maybe there was a rights reason with the like new Deadpool 2 movie coming out. I don't know, but I'm hoping that there's an actual legitimate reason, not just they don't want to work with him for some reason, because that's just stupid. So,
and if that's the case, if it is something where they just don't want to work with him, or even if they do want to work with him, they just didn't want to go through with this project and they pulled the rug from up under him, it makes me wonder what's going to happen with Atlanta, because again, it's the same channel, it's the same people he's working with, and he told a story once, because I really don't think he has a great relationship with FX anyway, because he told a story once where he was pitching a show to FX and he basically had to bring in a translator because the people he was pitching it to didn't understand like the way he talked. Like, that's crazy that you like basically they couldn't.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I lost you for a stretch there.
Okay, what was the last thing you heard?
That he had to bring in like basically a translator.
Yeah, so basically it was an Ebonics translator. Basically, the people he was pitching to asked him to bring in someone who could speak correct English so they could understand what he was talking about. So I feel like he already doesn't necessarily have a great relationship with Fox or FX, but they were the only ones willing to allow him to do the Atlanta show. And so he went ahead and did it, but it does make me feel like moving forward, he may not care to do anything with them, even if he does lose money.
That makes sense. I never heard that story before. I'm gonna have to look for that.
I didn't hear it until today.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Yeah, it's very intriguing. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see if there is like an article on that. I'm gonna try to find it because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Just crazy, but you can't be surprised by anything
Anybody does.
these days.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it's 100% true.
All right. And then, thank you, everybody, for watching this part 2 episode of the Rambling Film Group podcast. We want to thank you guys for your time and watching this with us. We love interacting with you guys. This episode, we talked about Ron Howard using the same script as Lord Miller for the Han Solo movie and the issues that might cause. We also talked about the reshoots for both X-Men Dark Phoenix and New Mutants and what that might mean for their future and the fact that, whether we're going to get them or not. So definitely we want to hear your guys' feedback for that. And then lastly, we talked about FX canceling basically Deadpool, the animated series that Donald Glover was partaking in, and Donald Glover basically coming up with a script probably in about 24 hours and releasing that to the public. So go ahead and, give us your feedback and your thoughts on the subjects that we talked about. If you haven't watched part 1 of this, it'll definitely be up on our YouTube or our Facebook, and you can go ahead and find that and watch that as well. We would love to hear your thoughts on those subjects too. But we do, again, want to thank you for your time, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.